Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nemeko Nyeko. What do we do to preserve our oil and gas resources? What do we do to ensure that we generate enough dollar inflow into Nigeria to enable us have dollar liquidity and crash the naira dollar exchange rate back to 199 naira to $1 as at June 2015? Very simple. It was even Obasanjo, when he became president, crude oil output was 1.6 million barrels. He ramped it up to 2 million barrels. He ensured that every barrel of crude oil you sold enters our federation account. On the downstream side, he plugged the leakages. He ensured that the only PMS that comes in here is what we consume. And for 8 years under Obasanjo, we never consumed anything more than 2.6 million liters of PMS every day. And the market was actually fully subsidized. We are selling PMS at 65 naira per liter. Yet, under Obasanjo, naira lost only at 8 naira to $1 from 8 naira in 1999 to 124 in 2007. What did Obasanjo do? Obasanjo ramped up output to 2 million barrels, ensured that nobody diverts our crude oil like sweet, and nobody steals our money over inflating PMS import figure and paying subsidy on what was not brought in. The same thing can be done. We know over the last 10 years, from 2014 till now, the average annual import volume of Nigeria is about $62 billion. So if we're able to ramp up crude oil output to at least 2.5 million barrels, the level we had it in 2010, 2011, and we're able to plug the leakages in the downstream oil and gas sector by ensuring that we don't allow the criminals managing our oil and gas assets inflating the PMS import figure to the level they say it is today. You know, when I saw the report of January, February 2024, NNPC said that they imported $2.16 billion worth of PMS, 2.7 billion liters. That is average of at 3.6 billion liters, average of 61 million liters a day. I know it's a criminal Ponzi game, because the same people told us July, August last year, when the subsidies was removed, that PMS volume came down to 40, and nobody's probing them. Nobody's investigating them like the House of National Assembly Committee of 2011-2010. The current National Assembly is like a rubber stamp. Nothing is happening there. People are stealing our oil resources gleefully. Today, crude oil output is down to 1.2, 1.3, 1.4 million barrels a day. Since we know where the problem is, rather than going to borrow and lament, any honest and sincere government, the first thing they will have done was, within the first 1 week of coming to power, the madness and criminality in our oil and gas sector assumed a monstrous proportion under Buhari. It was a hist under Jonathan Desiani, but under Buhari and his gang of bandits in that sector, it went astronomical. Our crude oil was being looted. Even the current GMD of NNPC in 2021, please fact check me, Google it, with his own mouth said over $1.9 billion worth of our crude oil resources are looted and lost to loot inefficiency, which is $22 billion annually. If we were selling 2.5 million barrels of crude every day, there's no way we will not get enough dollar, far more than what we export, what we spend importing things here. Now, this is the golden geese, the geese that lays the golden egg. The serious government, what they would have done was to sack everybody at the top management and board at NNPC that superintended over the criminality under the Buhari regime. It is sack everybody. At the NNDPRA and other regulatory agencies where inefficiencies and criminality had gone already, sack everybody. Even if it means recruiting non-Nigerians, get top professionals. You can look at what's happening at Petrobras. You can even go to British Petroleum, hire top professionals to man your oil and gas industry. We have the wells where those crude oil we are coming from are still in existence. Even if we are borrowing to show up productivity of the oil and gas sector, it would have been better for us when we do this thing and we protect those assets. What is the big deal about this? Why is Bola Tinubu returning at the commanding height of oil and gas sector? Men who saw the depletion of our crude oil output from 2.5 million barrels to 1.2, less than 1 million barrels. Doesn't it make sense? Why Are we having in our regulatory space men and women who do not understand what it means to enhance business, to attract investors, to even encourage domestic investors to be more productive? Why do we have people? It is so, there's nobody, even Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, the current emir of Kano State, since 2010 have been screaming that the level of opacity, the level of criminality in NNPC is outrageous. And we have a president who was, in fact, he was actually a former treasurer in Mobo. So is there something these guys are not telling us? Is there something that is happening? I don't understand this thing. As a leader, as a manager, when you inherit a team, the first thing you do is you fire all the players who are not performing and recruit those that can help you to win the league and to win the cup. The weakest link to the Bola Tinubu government is the oil and gas industry, from the NNPC to the NMDPRA to the petroleum ministry. We have bunch of incompetent, rudderless, inefficient, dubious-minded human beings. These guys only care, and they have so much war chest, wallet to bribe everybody, bribeable. Of course, they cannot bribe the commander-in-chief because the commander-in-chief holds the knife, holds the pot, holds the stove. So how can the people you employ to cook? They are not cooking well. The refineries are not working. We suggested to them how they can actually re-engineer those refineries under a JV arrangement that will enable those refineries to start producing. We've advised them on how they can restructure and divest from federal government ownership in NNPC and restructure it to be like the efficiently and introduce corporate governance culture, so it will be like the Nigeria liquefied natural gas and the Petrobras. Look at Petrobras. Brazil oil reserve 15.5 billion barrels. Nigeria oil reserve 37.5 billion barrels. We have oil reserve that is more than 2/3 of Brazil. Petrobras annually does about $121 billion revenue, $36 billion profit, $174 billion asset size. NNPC is struggling under the heavy load of corruption and criminality. Cleanse the place. If we have divested the federal government shareholding, 60% sold to private investors. If you have the likes of BlackRock, the likes of Goldman Sachs, the likes of British Petroleum, even local players owning majority, by now they will have fired every of the criminals in the industry, every of the incompetent, inefficient people there. And you are keeping those people there. Nigeria is busy borrowing, keep on borrowing, when we have assets that can give us enough money to even enable us to lend to nations. The same thing with the security architecture. We know very well that the current security architecture of Nigeria is so compromised and criminalized. It's so criminally inefficient that we can easily rejig it. Hand over security back to the community so that they can be able to protect Nigeria, protect Nigerians, protect lives and properties to enable Nigerians to become productive. So what is the big deal? Please, you guys should make this. Anybody that has access to President Tinubu should share this video to him. Let us find out from him. Why did he inherit a team that wasted 16 trillion naira, 34 billion naira on subsidy, and the Faith No Naira maintenance program is without repairing those refineries, that saw the depletion of our crude oil production from 2.4 million barrels a day to less than 1 million, and he still retained them? What miracle does he expect them to do for him? And it's 1 year. It has been more than 1 year in office. These guys have not done anything to improve the situation, and yet he's keeping them. What spare do they have on Mr. President or those around him? It's a question we should be asking. We can't keep on keeping quiet. Everybody keep quiet. And why Nigeria continue to do it when we have things that can generate dollar revenues to Nigeria? If we have security, we can easily attract foreign diaspora remittance and investment of not less than $50 billion into this economy. What is happening, Beacon? What is this now? Abba!